In fact, any young person that studies is doing the wrong thing. Stop studying, all of you. Let me be clear. Stop studying, but fall in love with learning. So the second part of my sentence is critically important. Not to stop studying, it's just I'm capturing information, just regurgitate and throw it out in exam.
No, absolutely. No,
fall in love with learning. Become a lifelong learner. Don't just say school or college. Make a commitment to learning in life. Because the more you're committed to learning, the more you're going to grow. The more you're going to grow, there's more value to you. The more value to you, the more you can contribute. The more you can contribute, the more valuable you are to an organization, to a business, to anything in life. Continuously find a way to learn and be the best you can be.
Anand is a success coach, and he works on mental and emotional fitness. And he's worked with all kinds of age groups. I know you've done a lot of work with the Indian cricket team. I know you worked with Joss Buttler. You worked with people like Forest Whitaker. I mean, there's a whole host of celebrities. You could go on and on and on. Welcome to the chat, and tell us a little bit about what you do and how you help people.
Well, my main thing in life is to help people become successful and happy. If I summarize it, that's what it is. I hate the term life coach because I believe it's a soft term that and to me, life is the best coach. And there are a lot of people in my industry who present themselves as life coaches. But the question you should always ask any life coach is two questions. Are they congruent in what they say? So if they're talking about health and they're a health coach, are they healthy themselves? Right. The success coach, have they achieved success? Right. And do they get results? Because that's what you're ultimately going there for. You're not going there for some nice warm bath. You're going there for results and tangible impact. And that's why I also hate the term motivation speaker, because you feel good for an hour and then you forget an hour later. I believe in activating people, and I believe in instead of motivating, and I believe in terms of helping people be successful in life and also happy, because I think we've been taught to kind of go for success and that success guarantees happiness. But if that was true, then, there are many people we know. Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympic athlete, wouldn't have been depressed in that kind of state, despite winning all these gold medals. The people, we've seen so many Hollywood celebrities who've taken their life, who've achieved everything. And Bollywood as well, and CEOs. So success does not guarantee happiness. And this path of what I call the achiever, we've all been taught on. My work is really about sustaining happiness and sustaining success, which is what I call the path of the champion. So that's what I teach, and my mission is to help 1 billion people be on the champion path, whether they be in there as young, and my passion, as you said, is youth and young people. But I haven't given up on the old people too. I totally believe
I know, if you sort out the old people, then the young people that they bring up will be good too.
Absolutely. And for me, when the old people think they're old people, actually they realize they're young people. My grandmother's 83 years old and learning French at the age of 83. So and went through cancer, last 2 years. So people can shift in their mindset in terms of things. But it's to help people, and I've worked with now about 500,000 people. My goal is 1 billion.
How do these young people cope with what's going on? That's the most important thing. They're just not being able, a lot of them are not being able to get their head around what's going on.
Well, I think that's the challenge, is trying to get your head around it. Because your head will be confused. Don't get your head around it, get your heart around it. Focus on your world, because that's the only thing you can control. Your emotional world, your mental world, your physical world, your spiritual world. And instead of, the biggest tip I would say for young people would be, instead of looking for reason why you're stressed right now is because you can't see your future, which means you're feeling uncertain. One of the ways to create certainty is to have a vision. And right now, what I always tell people is, get off television and start telling yourself a vision.
Wow.
Start telling yourself a vision of what your life is going to look like beyond all this. The mind is so powerful, and if you direct it, I'm sorry, but governments do not direct my mind. Governments, people don't, the disease is not going to direct my mind. I control my mind. I'm in charge of that. I'm going to be aware of what's going on and be aware of all the things that happen. I'm going to take precautions. But the dis-ease between people are feeling right now is the disease between not being at ease with themselves. And one of the ways is to create a compelling vision beyond this. The brain does not know the difference between what you imagine and what you experience. That's why dreams feel so real. There's something called the reticular activating system that literally It makes us feel like it's so real. You can
Right.
wake up every day and feel that sense of reality. When I work with a tennis player who once won Wimbledon, and the
Right.
person I asked that person, I said, "What was it like to win Wimbledon?" And the person said to me, "Well, what do you mean? I've been winning Wimbledon since I was 4 years old."
So would you suggest people visualize the vision? Would you suggest they make a vision board? How do you suggest they go about doing that?
What did you do last weekend?
What did I do last weekend?
Yes.
I was in Greece last weekend.
What did you eat for dinner 2 days ago?
Um,
Perfect. I
in
asked
YouTube.
this question so I could find out the way you learn. Now,
Okay.
there are 3 ways of learning: seeing, hearing, and doing. If
Okay.
I'm a visual person,
Right.
visualizing my future is the most powerful way. If I'm
Okay.
an auditory person, hearing the sounds of my future,
Okay.
right? What is that sound going to be like when I graduate from college?
Right. Right.
What's the sound going to be like when I come home with my first paycheck and my mom and dad says, "I'm proud of you"?
Right.
Right? What's that sound that's going to pull me to my future? And if I'm kinesthetic, what's the feeling I'm going to have in my body? What am I going to feel? I'm going to feel joy. I'm going to feel excitement. Right. So depending on your way of learning, connect yourself. And if you don't know which one you are, use all 3. Okay. Visualize it, hear it, and feel it.
Okay.
And then you'll connect to it and you go, "That's real now."
Okay. So visualize it, hear it, and feel it.
Absolutely. And knowing these 3 is important because, for example, when it comes to relationships, we all get this messed up, right? If you're a visual person, and your partner's visual, talking to them on the phone is a waste of time. Get on FaceTime.
Right.
It won't connect, right? Okay. Talking on the phone, they won't be emotionally connected to you. Okay. If you're auditory, then telling your partner "I love you" means much more. So it's the same thing. Even for ourselves emotionally, if I'm an auditory person, what are the things I'm telling myself every day? If I'm a visual person, what are the pictures I'm creating in my mind every day? Are the pictures making me feel good? Or the pictures making me feel bad? Are there pictures of worry and tension and fear? Or are there pictures of strength and faith and courage and inspiration? Am I telling myself I'm an idiot? Am I telling myself I'm worried? Am I telling myself I could fail? Or am I telling myself I've got this? I'll find a way. I can take charge. I may not be able to control the event in my life, every event, because some things are out of my control. But I can always control my experience of those events. I call it responsibility, not responsibility, responsibility. Right. The ability to respond to something, and one of the things I get told all the time, I did a session for CEOs today. Right. And people tell me, all the CEOs tell me, "Hey, my wife or my daughter is so emotional. How do I control that?" Every human being is emotional. The stock market is emotional. Emotions are part of life. Our goal is not to not be emotional. Our goal is to decide what emotions we want to live in. I don't care what size of your house is. If you have a farmhouse in Delhi, if you live in stress and fear every day, that's the house you live in. Yeah. The emotion you feel is the home you live in. The emotion you feel is the car you drive in. Right. And if we can choose the emotion, if we can respond to events from the right emotion or a better emotion or an empowering emotion, for someone that's passion. For another person, the right emotion is calm. For another person, it's peace. For another person, it's faith. We all have different ones that are the right home for us. Choose the right emotional home and therefore respond from that place. But that doesn't mean don't have fear. But that means be honest with yourself and go, "Okay, what am I feeling now? I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling stress. Okay, let me be honest and not just pretend I'm positive. Be honest, be real, I'm a human being, and then say, okay, I'm feeling worry, I'm feeling stress. Is worry and stress going to help me move forward right now? Decide. I don't think so. What would be a better emotion to respond to the situation with? Okay, let me come from courage or determination or greater commitment to my vision or passion, right? Or creativity to find a solution. What's the emotion I want to choose? Be honest with your emotion and then find the one that's the right one. That's not the right one, not perfect one, but the one that's authentic, real, and going to help you and move you forward to what you want in your life. Okay. Fear and stress will only move us back.
There is uncertainty. So you're working with uncertainty. How should they be coping with this?
Well, I think realize one thing, uncertainty is not a thing to be scared of. Uncertainty is actually one of our, we have 6 needs. Uncertainty is actually one of our needs. And
Interesting.
the more, because let me tell you something. How many people like surprises? A lot of
Like
people.
surprises. We all like
We love surprises, right? So we love uncertainty. The uncertainty we like, we call surprises. The uncertainty we don't like, we call problems. Uncertainty is actually where we grow the most. There's a great book called The Talent Code that talks about the things about how to maximize talent in life. And one of the things is what's called deep practice. So just practicing is one thing, but the ability to practice in situations where there are uncertainty. That's why cricket matches, those sports matches are so powerful, right? I can hit 100 balls in the nets, but me going out there and hitting that ball when the pressure's on, the lights are on, that's deep practice. So we shouldn't be scared of uncertainty. In fact, we can look at it and go, opportunity to get deep practice. Opportunity to use my courage, not in theory, but in reality. Opportunity to use my resourcefulness in reality, right? And uncertainty is actually where we grow the most. If life is too certain, we may feel comfortable, but I'll tell you the biggest challenge is comfort. We may want comfort, but that's what we don't grow in comfort. Our goal in life is to create certainty where there's uncertainty. That's what being a leader is. Leading my ship, leadership when there's tough times. Being able to say to myself, there's uncertainty around me, but I got to create that. And let me tell you something. If you're a mother on this or father on this thing, you've dealt with uncertainty. Having a child is uncertain. There's no rule book. If you started a business, there's uncertainty. If you've gone to high school, there's uncertainty. You've dealt with uncertainty in your life. Don't forget that you've got tools and experiences for handling it. What worked then could work now. You just have to bring in that mindset. If your mindset before under uncertainty was, I've got this, you need to be conditioning that mindset every day. So go back to moments where you felt certain and pull, who was that person that handled uncertainty? How do they stand? How do they breathe? What do they believe? Be that person right now. That's not a person from your past. That person is in you. Activate that person now and step into your inner certainty to handle the external certainty.
What about when the uncertainty is quite negative?
There's a few words that cause people pain. And one of the words in the world is loss. Anytime we feel like we're losing something, I'm losing my health, I'm losing a relative, I'm losing a job, I'm losing an opportunity. Sense of loss is what creates stress. What if you look at abundance? What if you shift to that mindset? What am I gaining? Okay, I may have lost my job, but maybe it's a chance to step back and say, is that the right job for me? Is that what I really want to do in life? Am I a human doing just following this pattern here? Or is happiness more important than success? I can reevaluate my values and then make a different choice. The other thing I would say to people is, in a world that's already so uncertain, where there's artificial intelligence coming in, so many different pieces are happening, the biggest thing I'd give the young people is one simple thing: become a learning machine. In fact, any young person that studies is doing the wrong thing. Stop studying, all of you. I don't want you to stop. Let me be clear. Stop studying, but fall in love with learning. So the second part of my sentence is critically important. Not to stop studying is just I'm capturing information, just regurgitate and throw it out in exam.
No, absolutely. No,
fall in love with learning. Become a lifelong learner. Don't just say school or college. Make a commitment to learning in life. Because the more you're committed to learning, the more you're going to grow. The more you're going to grow, there's more value to you. The more value to you, the more you can contribute. The more you can contribute, the more valuable you are to an organization, to a business, to anything in life. Continuously learn. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how many degrees you have. Continuously find a way to learn and be the best you can be. And there's no end. You know, people always told me the 3 types of clients that I have. One client is a client who is has issues but doesn't think they have one. The second is someone who's going through a difficult time and comes to you, I'm here to help you. If you're going through anxiety, you're going through stress, you're going through depression, happy to coach you, happy to help you, happy to support you through that. I can turn this around in a matter of hours. The third client is someone who's just always looking to grow. You know, I had someone come to me once in the IPL and say to me, I've got a dream. And I said, what's your dream? And they told me their dream. and they said, I'm going to be in a certain position in 3 years from now. Now, they was decades away from that position, but they knew it. They said, and they came to me at midnight and said, I want to play for my country. I want to do this. And they weren't even playing for the domestic team, but they had that vision. And at midnight, I woke up, I went down to the lobby of the Taj Hotel in Bombay, and I spent 3 hours with that person, and they achieved their goal 2 years later.
Wow.
But I say that to you because hunger to grow is the most powerful resource right now, young people. Anyone who's young, any person, hunger to grow, a desire to be a learning machine. Because if I do that, my value in the world is continuously going up. I'm sorry, your self-worth should not be based on your achievements, should not be based on the size of your home, should not be based on your grade point average. Your self-worth should be based on your growth. Growth is self-worth. If I'm continuously growing, that's my self-worth. Not what I achieve, but continuously adding worth to myself.
Yeah, because very often that's one of the major issues. Very often people are so stressed because they haven't got the right grades, their kids haven't got the right grades. It's all about getting into a college or getting that job with a McKinsey or ticking that box.
Absolutely. Look, I went to Harrow School. I got a B, D, and an E in my A levels. Right? I was rejected from every university there was in England, even polytechnics. I was rejected from every university in America. I got 1100 my SATs. But in my essays, I opened up and I was authentic and I was real, and in my interviews, and I got into Georgetown, and I graduated from Georgetown 4 years later, 3 degrees, history, English, and psychology, all with honors, national history honors. And I went from a kid that got a D in history A level to honors history and national history honors. And it wasn't that I became smarter. It's that, but in school, in high school, at Harrow, I was focused on studying. At Georgetown, I was focused on learning. And I had the right environment around me. And I had 120 credits to graduate from Georgetown. I ended up doing 150 credits. I just wanted to learn. Every opportunity to learn, that passion, that hunger. Today, that's with me today. I'm in my 40s today, 20-something years from Georgetown. I've got a collection of over 1,000 books. Every single day, even though I'm a coach, I'm listening to a podcast, I'm listening something to feed my mind so I can be more of who I am, so I can serve this world.
What advice would you give the young people to?
If you're looking for a perfect life, it won't happen. Instead of a perfect life, go for an authentic life. Instead of chasing success, be happy with yourself. Feeling secure in who you are is the most powerful thing that's there. If you're emotionally secure, you can create financial security. There are a lot of people who are financially secure, but not emotionally secure and stressed about losing their money. Make being secure with yourself the foundation of success. Don't think when I achieve my goal, I'll feel secure. Use security with yourself as the foundation, as the platform to go for that success, to go for that dream.
And you said that no one should be on medication. And that really resonated with me. You said you can take them off it.
Yes.
So, I mean, have you done that in the past? Have you helped people come off their anxiety, depression medication?
Absolutely. I've done over 200 suicide turnarounds. And with the grace of God, we haven't lost anyone and we won't lose anyone. I've worked with over 1,000, maybe 2,000 right now, depression cases.
Wow.
So we can turn it around. The challenge of psychologists and psychiatrists, and I have respect for my peers in this industry, but the challenge is psychologists and psychiatrists are trying to diagnose a condition. So they're looking at you and they're looking at patterns and then saying, what's the condition? My focus is not the condition. My focus is you. You're not broken. They're just patterns you're running that if you're aware of those patterns, we can turn around those patterns. You're not a statistic. You're not a diagnosis. Your spirit and your heart is greater than any diagnosis anyone can give you. And if you realize that, you can shift everything. A friend of mine, dear friend of mine, 17-year-old kid, born with 49 fractures. At the age of 15, 134 fractures, in a wheelchair. People don't think you can achieve things in life. Amazing kid. He's got over 1 million followers now on YouTube. He's an Indian boy, singer and a rapper. Wow. And he just told me the other day, I interviewed him for my podcast, the guy has a six-pack. Now the guy's in a wheelchair. How does the guy in a wheelchair have a six-pack of abs, right? But That's the thing. He refuses to believe that anything you tell, science will tell, science will diagnose, and science is fantastic. But science does not take into account the human spirit. It doesn't take into account the human emotion. It doesn't take into account who you are. And you are beyond any diagnosis. Depression is not the cause, it's the symptom. And a lot of time depression is there because there's certain things you're not doing. You're not loving yourself, so you create depression in your life as a way to connect with yourself. Wow. A happy person and a person driven by self-love will never be depressed. Hurt people will hurt people. Happy person will never hurt someone. Our goal in life is to create secure people in the world, because a secure person can make others feel secure. But I'll give you one tool you can use right now. Even whether you're anxious or whatever it may be, just hold your left wrist right here at the pulse. Yeah. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Your eyes closed. And I want you to see, hear, and feel a moment in your life where you felt happy. Where you felt happy with yourself. Where you felt that sense of love and certainty. Second part of it is to hold it and visualize your future. And then be in that thing and say, peace, peace, peace. So it's very simple. Hold the left wrist, breathe in, breathe out. See the happy memory from the past, peace, peace, peace. Breathe in, breathe out. See the happy memory of your future. Peace, peace, peace.
We're wondering why the left wrist.
Our heart, whatever you want to call our heart, is, to me, one of the most powerful, underused assets we have.
Right.
Right? So connecting to that part. Now, why am I doing this? There's a science behind it. As I'm breathing in and feeling my pulse, which is affecting how I feel, I'm also creating dopamine. I'm also creating serotonin. I'm having those happy memories, those happy thoughts. Mm-hmm. So it's affecting me emotionally. If I'm visual, I'm auditory, I'm connecting to it. Mm-hmm. And then I'm also slowing down my breath. So I'm having an effect on the physiological side as well as the psychological piece. So both are being activated with exercise. Okay. And I use it literally if I'm stressed out, I'll do that. Before a meeting, before a coaching session, it's like a reset button for me. Does visualization really help in attracting your soulmate? Well, Let me tell you something. You already attracted your soulmate. Your soulmate is you. Most of us are looking for love on the outside, but we have no love with ourselves. The most important relationship in life is with you. If your soulmate's with yourself, then you're coming from love and from abundance, and then you can give to others and not go to a relationship to get, but truly to give. Remember, what we decide this thing, we can create what that's going to be. If it's me with my soulmate meditating, if it's me with my children bonding on the day of graduation, whatever it is, remember, tell yourself the vision. Create that for you.
You said you were talking about self-love and you being your own soulmate.
Sure. I think, look, I was a person, I've always been a dreamer, right? So when I was a kid, I always wanted to find the perfect soulmate, the perfect person, the perfect thing. Perfection is not even out there. How many of us have seen a beautiful sunset and gone, oh my God, sunset? Sorry. You're not perfect. You should be more purple. And the last one I saw was green and more of this, right? We don't, perfection is not life. Authenticity is. Mm-hmm. So have an authentic relationship with yourself. That is self-love. And I truly believe, we're looking for that soulmate, but what is the soul that we're going to be mates with for the rest of our life? Us. Right? So if we can't have a great relationship with us, then we're going to a relationship as like a drug addiction. We're going there to get from someone. We're not going there to give. If we have that level of self-love and that abundance of love within ourselves, we can truly go and give. And I believe that's what we're on the world today. I truly believe there's nothing, you want certain, I'll end with this. You want certainty in your life? But let me tell you, there's nothing more certain in this world than love. You want to feel significant in your life? There's nothing more significant on this planet than love.
I 100% agree. Thank you, Anand. That was an amazing, amazing session. Thank you for listening to this chat. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to this page. Please subscribe to our podcast on Apple and Spotify, Wellness Curated. And follow us on Instagram, Wellness Curated, the number 1. Thank you.